in my life, this is my time. Step up, rise up, fight first, bring it on.
Hello again. Next episode of Remus Talks here. And you'd be thinking, is this the same place as before? Not quite. You see, I'm feeling quite, what's the word? I'm feeling that emotion you get when you're thinking about a lot of the stuff that happened in your past. And this just so happens to be another place, which means a lot to me. Yes, a lot of important things happened here, but nothing that I'll reveal to people like you. Not just yet. So, you voted, and you voted on reskinned Corey Cobain. Sorry, Alucard Constantine. It's just so hard to see him and not to think, that looks like Corey Cobain, that. Now, if you don't know, Alucard Constantine, well, I suppose you could say he's like Corey Cobain, but he's somehow darker than Corey Cobain, and he claims to be a part of all of this spooky stuff. Yeah. Note for the future, reversing Dracula and adding it as your name does not make you spooky. It just makes you that thing called Helsing abridged, is it? Something about Protestants and buckets. You'll get what I mean. What can I say about him, really? Green fly. What can I say? There was a reason I said that he was a reskinned Corey Cobain. Because in essence, that's just what it is. It's almost like Corey Cobain realised that he was a joke. And then he thought, I know what I'll do. To make myself seem more relevant in SWF, I'll give myself a complete makeover. Make myself seem better than I was before. And just come across as someone new. Now, it did seem promising to start with. After all, he was supposed to be feuding with Dylan Pickin, which may have given him a different result at Redemption. But there seems to be something similar again with Alucard and Corey, in that they just can't be bothered to turn up when it actually matters. Which then led to Dylan Pickin having the unfortunate experience of facing me for my Sheffield title. He lost that match, but this isn't about him. It's about Constantine. Yes. Oh, for those of you who don't know, if you've ever seen that movie with Keanu Reeves, based in the DC universe, drunk, beard, that kind of thing, or at least he's supposed to have a beard. Yeah. Again, not hard to see where the inspirations come from. You had a match with Psychosis, Alucard, and you did alright, I guess. You won. Just seems like it's easier and easier to keep winning against him. But I have to say, you're not impressing. You see, when somebody does what you do, and they introduce themselves for the first time, you've got to make an impact. You've got to put yourself out there. You've got to be bigger and better than everyone else around. And you can't do that if you don't turn up, if you don't put in the effort, and you look like you're stoned half the time. Yeah. So it turns out there's not a lot of difference between you and him. Although from what I hear, you two are different people. It's so convenient that as Corey Cobain was fired from the company, you just so happened to be hired into the company. Anybody watch Sharp? It's a bit like when they killed, well, quote unquote, killed sharp, and then they brought him back for a different mission. They killed him off just so then the Spanish government could be happy, and then he came back to just continue the war anyway. If you don't know what sharp is, Napoleonic era, gunpowder, shooting each other, that kind of thing. It's the one thing where Sean Bean does not die. I'll put it like that. But that's how I view it, Alucard. You're not interesting. You're not interesting to someone like me, or to a lot of people in SWF. And that's just how it is, I'm afraid. Sorry, you're just gonna have to try a bit harder. Now, this will be a bit like the last episode where I was talking about MC Davo. Sorry, MC Loza. I keep making that mistake. It's just so hard to distinguish sometimes. Because a few things have happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that maybe we're not going to get that tag match with the Society and Sinister after all. But we do have something else instead. Because Leo Libra wants to fight, but he doesn't want to fight with Dante. Dante wouldn't have minded if he fought with Leo Libra on his side, but he still wants to fight. So it looks like it's going to be very busy for me indeed, because instead of one big match, I'm going to have two slightly smaller matches, where it's me versus first Dante, and then Leo Libra. You know, it's a bit disappointing that I couldn't face both of you at the same time. I thought you could have grown up and actually resolved things, but sometimes fate does not go the way that I want it to go. And I'm okay with that. Not everything always goes my way, and I'm used to that by now. Maybe I've gotten a little bit used to things going my way, but it's not like I expect it to be always. Now, there's a few other things. One of those other things is, surprisingly, the Intercontinental Champion himself, disputed, Kieron Hayes. You released a post, didn't you, you naughty boy? What was that post? Oh, it was a list of things that you wanted to do. There were 4 items on it. One of them was about defending your Intercontinental belt. Yeah, I can get behind that. Hell, I like a fighting champion. Look at me. I'm a fighting champion. Me and you both. And then, I don't remember the second point. The third point, let's skip over that for the fourth point. The fourth point is, you're wanting your match with Side Splitter. Good luck with that. I've been asking for one for ages, and he still won't give me one. Yes, you are the Intercontinental Champion. Yes, I am the Sheffield and Cruiserweight Champion. But it just feels like he's trying to avoid us. So, if you can get a match with him, brilliant. If you can't, don't be so surprised. Let's go back to that third point, though. What was it that you put? Oh, yes. You want to fight me. Not for a belt. I can respect that. You want to fight to shut me up and to prove that you're the best ever. Okay. Alright. Let's entertain this idea for a second. If you're the best ever, wouldn't that mean that you are the face of the company? No, let's seriously look at this for a second. If you were the best ever, you would be the face of the company. People would look to you for being the face of the company. Oh, but they don't. In fact, you're about as respected as, well, MC Loza, to be fair. After all, was it not the Trailblazers who attacked you at the end of your match recently? I seem to recall. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. So it's quite clear they don't respect you on that end. Yeah. But you're the Intercontinental Champion, aren't you? Rule of thumb, if someone becomes the Intercontinental Champion, it usually means that they're not far away from becoming the World Heavyweight Champion. But when people think of the Intercontinental Champion now, they may think of you, but they don't think of the showstopper. I mean, I saw how you looked at the end of my match with Dylan Pickin and Daniel Banner. You looked disheartened, disappointed. It's almost like you were expecting our match to be subpar at best. You didn't even say anything afterwards. You didn't clap. You didn't boo. You just walked off. What is it that I have done, other than say a few mean things, that has truly offended you, Mr. Hayes? Is it that I left your team to go and grab glory for myself? Surely you'd encourage something like that. After all, back then, I was new. I needed to be able to go out there and do what I needed to do to make a name for myself, and I thought that's something you encouraged. You encouraged new people to come along and prove their worth. And if anything, I am following that teaching. Am I not giving in opportunities to people like Daniel Banner, as much as I really don't want to? I gave an opportunity to Dylan Pickin. It was his 4th match. His first match, granted, was a chance to get a shot at the Cruiserweight Championship, but he lost. And then only 3 matches afterwards, he's placed into a triple threat for a chance to get 2 belts. I think that that's very generous, to be fair. And then there's also this Cruiserweight tournament that I've helped to create. Surely that's something that you would also endorse as well. It's encouraging new talent. New talent that I would look forward to destroying further down the line. But it's new talent nonetheless. It's something that you would like. But no, because it's me who's doing it, apparently that's a bad thing. Okay, alright, okay. I see where you're going with this. Let's talk about a few other things as well, Kieron. When you're the best in the world, you got to put your name out there. You got to put your face everywhere. This is the first time I've seen you post ever since the lockdown. I've not seen anything from you for a long time. Up until now. That confuses me. If you are the face of the company, if you are the best of the best, then that means that you need to have a very permanent basis on which you show yourself off to the rest of SWF and to its audience. But I don't see you doing that. You're doing what everyone else is doing. You're taking it easy. Sitting down, relaxing, getting complacent. But that's not what I'm doing. You see, I am the best in the world. I keep putting my face out there because I know I am the face of the company, and as much as people do not want to admit it, I am one of the first few names that people come to know when they walk into SWF. Connor Cage knows it, you know it, Daniel Banner knows it, Rob Van Helsing knows it, the Demon Nation know it. There is not a single person, bar a few, who don't know my name now. Even audience members are knowing my name. I created, albeit a very small, but it's a steadily rising YouTube show, and people are watching it. People are staying up to date with what I'm saying because they want to hear what I'm saying. Because they know what I say holds quite a lot of worth. Are you mad that I've managed to bag myself a match with a professional wrestler in UKW. I hear you harping on about it all the time, about people who bugger off to the professional companies and never return. Or if they do return, they're ostracized by everyone because they've been to these professional companies. Well, the problem is, you're not getting rid of me that easily. I'm going to be sticking around for quite some time. I have no intentions of going anywhere. In fact, if anything, all I'm doing is just putting in 10 times more effort than half of you fuckers in SWF. Hell, I thought that was something you'd appreciate. You always did say that I had a lot of talent. You always did say that I meant a lot in SWF and that I was going to rise to become great things. And that you were right. Are you mad because I created my own faction? A more successful faction? It's in its early days. But we know what we want, and we know what to do to get what we want. And we don't mind being patient. For now. Kieron, if you really want to fight, why don't I pose this to you? Why don't I pose this to you? You wanted a match with Robert Decaro, right? This is probably another reason you're angry with me. Because you wanted to face Robert Decaro last year. And what did I do? Oh yeah, I took him out and I reformed him. Granted, back then it was just me attacking him. And I have to say, Decaro, a part of me didn't want to hurt you as much, but it was all in love. And you've become a better person because of it. But back to you, Kieron. You must be mad that I took away the one person that you wanted to face. Well, how about this? I'll give you something that you want. Because you might not have put it on your list, but I know damn well that you want it. Nick may have a couple of other people that he wants to face, like Dylan Pickin, but Dylan's not been very responsive. You might be, though. Robert, wherever you are, how would you feel if you faced Kieron Hayes in a match? Why don't we make it a match of Kieron Hayes' choosing, just to make things a bit more interesting? You've been wanting it for so long, Kieron. Come on, what say you? I'm giving you something you want. All you just need to do is accept and say what kind of match you want to be in. That's not a hard thing to do, is it? And it doesn't matter if you're successful or not in defeating him, which I very much doubt you will be. I'm more than happy to face you then, but as you will no doubt know, I have a very busy schedule. A very busy one indeed. So I'm afraid I don't have time for people like you now, Kieron. After all, the new people want me, the champions are wanting me. You unfortunately just got into the back of the line. And you need to wait there a little bit before you can get your grubby little mittens on me. But I'll make sure it's worth your time in the meantime. That'll be all for today's episode, so remember to leave a like, share and subscribe, and click up here so you can vote on which wrestler I am to talk about next. And click that bell icon down below so you can stay updated with all future videos. And Rob Van Helsing, you've been keeping an eye on things as well, haven't you? Just a little note. I couldn't ignore this. You want to look into my past? That's fine. I mean, it's not like I don't know that Van Helsing language of yours. Oh, how would I know that? Oh, how do I know that indeed? Well, if you keep looking down my path, you'll find out, but you'll also find out a lot of other things as well, Mr. Van Helsing. Things you might not want to have known. But that'll be all for today, folks. And I'll see you all in the next episode.